what type of content should I be making to really warm up my audience? What type of content should I make?
Yeah, it's a good question, because you've got to think about, the problem is people think, well, if I just have a commentary on the industry I'm in or the stuff I do, that'll be fine. But what you're doing there is you're just contributing to a conversation that already exists. It's far better to have a bit of a deeper think about not just what things you can talk about, but who it is that your ideal buyers are going to want you to be. Now, I'm going to be careful here, because I'm not suggesting we're inauthentic. We want to make sure we are ourselves. We want to be our best selves, because what we're doing, for instance, in video or even through text, is we're projecting onto an audience a vibe of what it would be like to work with us. So one of the reasons I do a live show every week, and possibly a reason why you do a podcast, for instance, is it gives people a really good sense of the you. If you write text and put up images, that's all well and good, but they get a real vibe of what Mark's like or what Richard's like. So making sure that you're bringing some consistency and frequency to the week really helps. But in terms of specifically what really moves the needle, what I call a reframe post is really crucial. And the idea of a reframe post is it reframes, which is framing is a term to represent a perspective, the way an audience views something. So for instance, if I'm a consultant selling, I don't know, services for podcasts, what are the myths or mainstream beliefs that my audience of potential buyers hold and believe to be true that in fact aren't quite right? And challenging those naturally sets you aside from the herd, and by default will make people see you in an elevated role. So what I'm mapping back from actually, and this is how I need to test whether or not this is going to be a post worth sending or not, is am I going to generate this feeling, because it is a feeling of no wonder I wasn't getting the results I wanted because I wasn't doing that thing that Rich has just mentioned. And the indicator that or the signifier that you've had success with this post is that you get these messages saying, I just had to say, I never looked at it that way before. So what you can do is say, like, what are the beliefs everyone has? What are the common feelings about the space I'm in? And you don't challenge it for the sake of it, but you're like, well, where do I believe they're not quite right? So if I can give it a perfect example, right? A couple of months ago, I did a post that was, that said it's wrong to lead with value. And so naturally everyone's like, whoa, this is sacrilege, because the whole thing at the moment in content is you should be leading with value. It's value first. But my point was, sure, but if you think about it, when you approach someone cold, because the context of the post within it was, if you're going to someone cold, when you lead with value, there's no context to your value. Like they've not asked for your value. You're a stranger. When someone loves you and thinks you're awesome and it follows your content, well, of course they love your value. And that's why it doesn't work when you approach someone cold with your templated message. It says, hey, there's all this great free value I know you'd love. It's my free webinar and my free ebook and my free this and my free that. It's a massive amount of arrogance that person will want it. That value is right, but it's out of process. You need to lead with the connection first. You need to let that person say, do you know what? I really like this guy's content. It really vibes with me. And then when they get in touch and share cues that suggest that, well, now giving them value is more appropriate. So the problem people have is they start too early with the value. And so I was just kind of doing things like that. It makes people go, that's a really good point. No wonder I wasn't getting the results. And of course, one of the biggest leverage points in persuasion technique is human curiosity. So by creating this, what happens is people are like, wow, that's a different way of looking at it. What's the first thing they do? Who is this Richard guy? And they click on the link and there I am. And 95% of them aren't relevant, but the 5% who are, they're like, hang on, I'm a consultant. That is the frustration I have, in fact, that I can't convert for my content. Maybe I should check out more. And guess whose content LinkedIn then serves to them again? Mine. And so it's just about leveraging curiosity, a very long, patient play, but reframe posts position you as that thought leader that has an exceptional or unique view on things, and that naturally makes people see you as a higher thinker, which is always good.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.